Here we're having this honeybee invasion on my house down here in South Florida, and I thought I was going to have some people coming in there to take care of it today, but I was just contacted, and that's not going to happen. So we're going to be dealing with this now for who knows how long. Um, it's not killing me. It's not a major deal, but I'm fascinated, of course, by honeybees, and I know we've been having problems with, honeybee problems in the world, actually. Decline of the hives and diseases and different things that I'm understanding is happening in this world. So actually, that's why I wanted to make sure that these were saved. I don't want these bees killed. I want them to be, I'd like to see them get captured. And I know that they can do it. I'd like to see them captured. Now, this soffit underneath our house right here is just very light aluminum, and if you just pushed up with that with a broom, which I've done before, I accidentally tried to knock some cobwebs off with a broom, and if you just pushed up with this with your hand, that whole thing would lift up and fall out. This soffit here. So I'm sure it's going to be an easy cleanup when when the time comes. And I wish I was braver to be out there with them and doing this live, but I just can't do it. So what we're doing is we're using a security camera that has the infrared lens or infrared on it. So basically, I've been watching this thing 24/7 or 24/7 for a couple of days now since I put that infrared out there. It's amazing how as soon as it starts to get dark, they start calming down and start clumping up into a I don't know, in a pile, I guess to call it. Last night I noticed that, a couple of nights ago, it went down to about 49 degrees here in South Florida for about 3 hours or a couple of hours. The temperature dropped down, and I watched all these bees crawl inside the little knot hole. There's a knot hole right here. There's a little tiny hole about the size of a 25 cents or a 50-cent piece. And I watched all those bees crawl inside that, so I know that they're making a hive inside there and probably inside this soffit area. Now, we're sitting at about 80 degrees today, so they're all having a good time, but it's multiplying. I'm definitely watching the bees multiply in. I don't know if more bees from the area are smelling something and they're now being attracted to the hive. I don't believe that these are necessarily all being hatched out of the same hive. It just doesn't seem like it's been alive long enough to be generating their own animals yet. They might be, though, because I really don't know how long that thing's been there. But yeah, we're just kind of hanging inside. We've been just having the one bee would come in the house and around the kitchen. I'd see something flying around my kitchen light, and that's how actually we realized that we had a bee problem. Was that I guess for about now I'm thinking about 25 days now approximately since I've noticed the first honeybee in my kitchen, and it was then beginning to be like one bee every night. They would be take him outside and put him on my orange tree. It wasn't until I started trimming up all these bushes and stuff around my house that I noticed the actual hive. So I really don't know how long it's been here, and I don't want to kill them. But the one company's already decided that they didn't want to. They don't do it anymore or whatever. People on the internet, they say they want to do it until, you ask them if they want to do it. But I did get a recommendation from somebody else for bee removal. It's all just going to depend on a few things. So for right now, like I said, I'm doing a live, but I'm doing them through cameras. Now I've got a smaller camera that it hooks up to the telephone. It's got a 25-foot cable, and you push it down sink drains or different things like that. If you have a clog, or I don't know, any tiny little place that you would need to look for something, you can push this camera down, or at least theoretically you can push it down. It's got a long cable, so of course you'd have to have a stick or something to push it with. But anyway, I'm really tempted to try and push a camera up here into the soffit. I'm so fascinated with honeybees that it's not funny. And I'd love to get a camera up inside that faucet just for for live. I mean, I'm just something that I enjoy it, knowing that they're producing right now. We've had such a bad story with honeybees. I think there's a lot of diseases out there right now in the country and in the world. We need to basically make sure that we protect the honeybees because they are our pollinators. And without the honeybee, we are in big trouble. So that's why I'm so broken up about this. I don't want these harmed. But at the same time, I'm greedy. They're causing me hassle. I want their honey now. So they're going to have to pay a toll for this. The toll, I'm going to probably have to put money out. I've already been stung about 5 times anyway in the last so many days, so it's not necessarily a big deal, but hey, they're going to have to pay for that. I got stung in the arm, and I was cutting the grass, and just different things. Not a major deal, but a bee sting is still a bee sting, so they owe me. They owe me right now, and they're going to pay. And I would hate to think that I would even have to kill all of them. But hopefully I'm going to have somebody that can capture them, and we'll make one of those good heart stories that you hear about, that, oh, somebody came in there and they saved the day, and they saved all the honeybees and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I've been watching it here. Come around midnight, all these bees, all the activity will stop. And they will they'll cover that hole with their bodies. They'll protect that hole. But, yeah, this is really pretty cool. The security cameras have a whole lot better view than the secondary camera that I'm using. So, of course, like I said, I've got a camera looking at a monitor. So I don't know that I don't really want to put my phone back out there for this live right now. I've got it on a spare cell phone, and I've also got it on my computer up here. So there's 2 ways that I'm able to look at this. But of course, the more cameras that I use, the clearer, or the duller the picture gets. I'm trying to keep clear pictures. The screens have clear, especially this little phone that I'm using. That's got a great picture, but as I'm trying to shoot the second, well, you can see the picture's denigrated, so it's not quite what I want, but yeah, this is really something. So, I'm going to go ahead and try and keep my eye on this for a little while longer, and yeah, take a walk outside since we're live. What the hell? There's nobody here with me. There's nobody. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick walk out here anyway. take a little peek up here. One of my places that I can peek through. Peek through and look right up there. And, there you go. Can't really see it that good from there. But yeah, they're really doing something up there. You see, I cleaned up all this here, and I hit that there. I found out. And then up through here, let's take a peek. It's hard to see through that, so it probably won't be able to. But anyway, that's the fun that we're having today, looking for, watching the bees, and they're starting to slow down, so they already must know that we moved our clocks ahead an hour last night. So they already know. It's just about time to, well, they're going to have an extra hour of daylight, so there's no reason for them to start going to sleep now. Hell, they'll have daylight up till probably almost 8 o'clock tonight. After 8 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, this is just as crazy as can be. Crazy out here having to, this bee swarming like this. But it's all part of Florida living. Here we have March, what are we, March 10th? It was 80 degrees, 80 some degrees today. I mean, I have my air conditioner on, people. So that's Florida for you. I love it. Well, anyway, that's the status of the bees today. We're going to go ahead and keep watching them until I can get rid of them. For now, that's all I can do is just keep my eyes peeled. Keep an eye on what's going on.